Welcome to Next Level. This is where we help mobile game creators, just like you, really level up their strategy. In this series, we are diving headfirst into the world of live ops, especially for idle and hyper-casual games. We're going to break down how you can engage your players, boost that retention, and just make your game a massive success with smart live strategies. All right, let's jump in. So let's kick things off with a question that I'm pretty sure keeps every single game developer up at night. How is it that some games become this daily ritual for millions of people, lasting for years and years, while other games, maybe even games that are objectively more fun, they just vanish? What's the secret sauce? Well, the difference between a flash in the pan and a forever game on someone's phone, it almost always comes down to one thing. And this slide, this basically tells the story. It's a tale of two games. On the left, you've got the classic launch story, right? A huge spike in players, a ton of hype, and then a nosedive. Players just chew through the content, and they're out. But then, look at the right. That's a whole different ballgame. A strong start, sure, but the engagement, it just keeps going. It even hits new highs over and over again. Now, that is not luck. That is a deliberate strategy.
So let's actually put a name to this. We'll call it the post-launch problem. You've poured your blood, sweat, and tears into a fantastic game. The downloads are through the roof, the reviews are glowing, but after a few weeks, that initial hype starts to wear off. Players have seen everything there is to see, and they just stop opening the app. And that churn, while it's totally normal, is probably the biggest threat to your game's long-term survival.
Okay, so how do you actually fight back against that decline? Well, the answer, and really the whole point of this explainer, is something called live ops. This is the engine that keeps those forever games running. It's the strategy that turns that scary, steep decline into a long, healthy, and really profitable life for your game.
Let's get a super clear definition down. Live ops is basically everything that happens after you hit the launch button. We're talking special events, daily challenges, flash sales, leaderboards, all those holiday-themed skins. It is the constant heartbeat that keeps the game feeling fresh and new long after your players have mastered the basic gameplay. And this quote right here says it all. It represents a massive mental shift. You have to stop thinking of your game as this finished product that you just ship and, walk away from. You've got to start treating it like a living, breathing service. The launch? That isn't the finish line. It's the starting gun. All right, let's talk about the power of freshness. Because we need to get into the psychology of why live ops is just so darn effective at keeping players hooked and making them want to come back for more, day in and day out.
And look, this doesn't mean you have to be cranking out giant, expensive expansions every single month. Not at all. The real magic of live ops is in all the small, frequent, and kind of clever little updates. A weekend where you get double rewards, a holiday skin that's only available for a few days, a flash sale. These small tweaks have a massive, massive impact because they build momentum. They give players a reason to log in today.
I think this is the best analogy for it. A game with great live ops? It's like your favorite TV show. You are just dying for the next episode because you have to know what happens next. But a game without live ops? Well, that's like a show that got canceled after season 1. You might have liked it, but eventually you're going to forget it even existed. Live ops is what delivers those new episodes. Okay, so we've talked about the what and the why, but let's talk money. What is the real-world financial impact of all of this? Because, and this is crucial, live ops is not just some nice little feature to keep people happy. It is the economic engine that is driving the entire mobile games industry. I want you to just take a second and guess. What percentage of all the money made in mobile games do you think comes from live ops? I'm not talking about buying the game itself. I'm talking about all the in-game stuff, the events, the special offers that happens after launch. You got a number in your head? 84%. Seriously, just let that number sink in for a second. This is not some fringe strategy for a few games. This is the business model for mobile gaming today. The overwhelming majority of revenue comes directly from doing live ops well. It's just not optional anymore if you want to build a successful game. And this chart really paints the picture, doesn't it? That little 16% slice, that's everything else. And this isn't slowing down. Industry analysts are predicting that the live ops share is going to blow past 90% by the end of 2025. The message could not be clearer. If you don't have a solid live ops strategy, your players will fade away, and so will your game. Okay, theory is great, numbers are great, but let's look at a true masterclass in action. We're going to dive into Coin Master, a game that became an absolute giant not because its core gameplay was revolutionary, but because its live ops engine is just brilliantly relentless.
So here it is, the secret to Coin Master's billion-dollar empire. The core gameplay basically never changes. Its success is built almost entirely on a non-stop event engine. We're talking constant, overlapping events that just supercharge a really simple game and make every single day feel different.
And here's what that actually looks like. They don't just run one event at a time. Oh no! A player might log in and see a card boom for double rewards, which is happening at the same time as a Village Mania for discounted upgrades, while they're also competing in a Raid Madness tournament. It's a whole whirlwind of activity all at once.
So what does that do to the player? It creates this incredibly powerful sense of FOMO. You know, the fear of missing out. You log in, you see 3 different amazing limited time things happening, and you feel this constant little nudge, this urgency to jump in and play right now before it's all gone. It is a masterclass in driving daily engagement.
And all of this brings us to what might be the single most important takeaway from our whole conversation today. After looking at the strategy, the numbers, the case study, it becomes really clear. Live Ops isn't just a bunch of features you can tack onto your game at the end. It is a core philosophy for how you build games in the modern era.
This right here, this is the key. You don't just add live ops. You have to build your game from the ground up, from day one, with this philosophy baked into its DNA. It has to shape how you design your core gameplay, how you plan your launch, and how you imagine the entire future of your game.
So what is this philosophy? It means you treat your game like it's alive. You launch fast, you listen constantly to your players, you learn from the data, and you update all the time to keep things fresh and surprising. It's a promise, really. A promise to make sure your game evolves with its community, so it never, ever feels static or old.
So, I'll leave you with this one question. It really is the fundamental strategic choice every single developer has to make today. Are you building a finished product, something that's done on launch day? Or are you building the foundation for a living service that can grow and thrive for years and years to come? Your answer to that is going to define your game's future.
Thanks for tuning in to Next Level. Hey, if today's explainer sparks some ideas for you, feel free to follow, share, or maybe even leave a review. We drop new insights all the time, so you don't want to miss out. And make sure you join us next time when we explore